Hey y'all, so I just got done watching that new Dark Tower movie, and it wasn't good. And usually I'm really good about, judging movies separately from the books, because, I've read a lot of books and seen a lot of movies that went with it, and, I can appreciate if a movie is good, even if it doesn't match up with a book. But this was obscene. I mean, okay, I've sacrificed time and grade point average to freaking read these books, and I just don't know who the market was, because if you read the books, it didn't match up with the books, so you're not trying to please the fan base there. And if you've never read the books, then all of the context you have is this movie, which they didn't develop the characters. A lot of the stuff, like, they just mentioned, and they never really explained it, and so, I mean, I'm not really sure who they were trying to target with this. I mean, honestly, it seems like the director was given a list of scenes to film, and he just went with it, and I was questioning whether anybody even read this book, because it was like nobody even knew who these characters were. The kid that played Jake did a phenomenal job, acting. Like, I can't knock him on the acting. It was just the storyline. I don't think it was written very well. And I know, okay, so I think it was basically the last 3 books of the series, which there's 7 books in the series. And they tried to take the last 3 and shove it into this one movie, which it would have been hard to do anyway. It was just one book. I mean, honestly, what they needed was something like Game of Thrones, which, the Dark Tower series and Game of Thrones, they have a lot in common. I mean, just because there's other languages, there's all this, folklore. I mean, there's history. He ties in, Stephen King ties in all of these other books, from his, body of work that, and writes them into the story. I mean, it's a very complex series, and, I mean, let's see. Yeah, these 3. Okay, so these 3 books right here are just, basically like little dictionaries where you can look up, the different languages, or, phrases that they use, or characters, and, folklore that they reference. So that's what these 3 are, basically. And all this stuff that, all the literature that Stephen King uses as a reference, Child Roll Into the Dark Tower came, all these different ones that, really influenced these books. So, I mean, that just gives you an idea how complex this is, and they tried to take 3 of these books and shove it into an hour-and-a-half movie, which, of course, wasn't going to work, but if they would have done a good job of it, they could have stretched this into a trilogy easily, but they really dropped the ball on this one, and nobody's going to be asking for a second one. So, I mean, they just, I don't know. They ruined it, man. They ruined it. They left characters out. They left Eddie Dean out. They left Susanna out. They left, I mean, even Oya the Billy Bumbler would have been nice little thing to throw in there, but then again, that was, I don't know. Then you'd have to explain all that, and I don't know. I just don't think that they did a very good job of really developing the characters, the storyline. I think they did a crap job with, even though these are good actors, this was not the role for them. But anyway, if you haven't read the books, I definitely suggest it. My favorite were the first 4. Books 5 and 6 get kind of weird, which is what the movie was based on, but still, it's not bad. Here's, just to show you what the graphic, because there's graphic novels that, go along with it, and they turned it into graphic novels, so, here's some of the I'm going to show you some of the good artwork in here. I don't know. Here's an example. Yeah. So, yeah, even if you don't have time for the books, which, you know, who does anymore, you know, the graphic novels are definitely worth the read. Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend the movie at all. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Thanks for listening.